Good morning. So it's day 15 on the Colorado Trail, and to make it confusing, we're not on the Colorado Trail right now. Today we are actually gonna hike up to Mount Elbert, which is the highest peak in Colorado at 14,400 something feet, and the second highest peak in the contiguous, if that's how you say it, mainland 48 states. Second to Mount Whitney. So Mount Elbert isn't on the Colorado Trail. We actually took a detour yesterday. Here we are yesterday. This is the junction. We've got the Colorado Trail going that way and the trail up to Mount Elbert going this way. So we are making a detour. The trail was really steep and we were carrying 4 liters of water because we were planning to dry camp 1 to 2 miles up the trail. We found the campsite just in time. It started raining. Got set up quick. The rain didn't last though, and the best part of the night was the Gray Jays joining us for dinner.
I didn't film it very well. I was mesmerized. So yeah, we're getting packed up this morning and ready to hike up this big mountain. Bye, campsite. You ready?
Yep.
Let's go. It's so pretty this morning and not that cold. And Evan's editing his video while he hikes. There's already a lot of people ahead of us actually, and I think we're the only ones camped here. But we had people hiking by the campsite starting at 3:50 in the morning. Someone was like shining a flashlight into my tent. Like, oh my god, people camp here. We should have done that.
Off to our right as we hike up this Mount Massive. Good view today.
Good morning. It's definitely like breathe up here. This is definitely a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Not only the elevation, but the trail is really steep. And I'm like off and on, a little nauseous. Final push, 1,100 feet. False summit. Evan, over there, summit, over there. Holy shit. Where we're headed. Whew. What'd you think of that, Evan?
I might have already said this, but that was definitely the hardest thing I have ever done, I think. Alright, I've put my sweatshirt on for the downhill because it is freaking cold up here. I was just dying on the way up, so I was in a t-shirt. I wish I could say that that was like the only main event of the day, but we still have a big day ahead of us. We're gonna hike down the other side. We'll hook back up to the Colorado Trail and then go into Twin Lakes, which is a town, but a very tiny town, so there's nothing there except a store. So we're gonna resupply the store and then get back on the trail, somehow trying to get to Collegiate West, I guess. And we have no idea how many miles this all is, because like I said, this is like alternate routes.
One of these aspen tree forests that I love. See the little baby? I heard from a guy that gave us a hitchhike that the aspen trees, the roots grow down and then they pop out these little babies. So they're actually literally all connected. Don't know if that's true. We've made it to the road to get into Twin Lakes. I don't think it's too far to get to the store. I'm getting roasted. It's just a little general store. I think it's pretty limited what they have. We need to get 4 days of food to get us through Collegiate West. We made it back to the trail. Sorry I didn't film much of the resupply and what was going on. It just was like a whirlwind, chaotic day. But we got a ride from the store to Willis Gulch Trailhead in a Tesla. That was my first Tesla experience. And then we had to hike some other trail to get back to this trail. Look at that! I don't know, it's very confusing because now we're on the Collegiate West and this doesn't even go by the same like mileage markers as the Colorado Trail, so it's like we started at 0. So I still am not really positive on the mileage for the day. It is what it is. We got 2 miles, I think, from here straight uphill to camp. All right, I think we have decided on a spot for the night. I'm gonna set up here. It's not exactly level, but I can make it work. There is a pretty significant stream down there, so hopefully I don't roll down into it. And Evan is looking for a spot across the trail over there. All right, home for the night. Holy shit. Today was a day. Like I said, not sure exactly on the mileage, but I do think it was around 15, which doesn't even sound like much. I was trying to find a place away from the water so it wasn't so noisy. This will have to do. I feel like 15 miles doesn't even sound like that much, but man, going up Mount Elbert, I think I said it earlier, but that was probably the hardest mountain I've ever hiked. Which I guess makes sense, it being the second highest peak in the contiguous states, but I wasn't expecting it, to be totally honest with you. I really thought it was gonna be easier than that. So anyways, I just want to wrap up this video. I know I'm rambling, but
by talking about Mount Elbert and the 14ers a little bit, because I feel like this was something I wanted to talk about today, but then it was just such a chaotic day trying to resupply and everything, so I didn't really get a chance to say what I wanted to say. And that is, I didn't really understand when I decided I wanted to hike the Colorado Trail that this trail doesn't go over peaks for the most part. You've got passes, which is kind of like in between peaks, I guess. That's kind of how I understand it. And when I downloaded the app, like the GPS app Far Out a couple of months ago and was starting to do some trail planning, like when you look at the elevation profile, if you click at any of the waypoints at like what looks like peaks, it just says like top of ridge. And I was like, I don't get it. They don't name their mountains there. It didn't even occur to me that you don't go over the peaks, over the summits. Like the whole Appalachian Trail, you're only going over summits. So I've been bitching a lot the last month as I started to really understand that we don't go over the summits. Like, what the hell is the point of that? We're hiking up mountains. We're going up high. But I feel like in the videos, it doesn't really look like it. It looks like we're on the ground looking at the mountains. Anyway, so all of that to say that Mount Elbert and Mount Massive are the two highest 14ers, I think, in Colorado. I mean, I know Mount Elbert is. I think Mount Massive is second. And they're both like reasonably short detours from the trail. So some people do take those detours to hike those mountains. And I absolutely wanted to do that, to feel like, I feel like I am a goal-oriented person. And it's felt a little weird to just be like hiking to nowhere. I mean, I'm hiking to Durango, but you know what I mean. Like, I like being able to summit mountains, to stand on something and just be higher than everything else. Oh, it feels so good. So anyways, that is partly why I wanted to do Mount Elbert. The other reason is I had tried to get John Muir Trail permits for 2 years in a row. And I wanted to hike Mount Whitney, which is on the John Muir Trail and is the highest peak in the contiguous states, the mainland states. So, but I couldn't get a permit. So anyways, Mount Elbert was kind of like a fun backup plan B type of thing. All of that to say, I'm glad I did it. It felt really good being up there. It felt very not good hiking up there. Holy shit. But yeah, I think I'm still processing today. So I'm going to end this video here. We're going to start tomorrow fresh, Collegiate West, which I'll explain in the next video how all of that works. And yeah, I'll see you then.